3-1. Wang Yidi certainly picked up on the fact that her opponent has a weaker forehand than backhand. And that's where most of her winners seem to be going. That's good. Suni Metaki will be delighted. It's the first point of her opponent's serve in this third game. Fourth game, I should say. Beg your pardon. Lightning quick reflexes again. That was superb, really was. Showing off the footwork there because she didn't really seem to be in position. She made the offensive stroke, but my word, did she execute it well. Well, anything she can do, I can do better. Great backhand winner. Metaki is involved in the singles competition. She's in Group 1 in the opening match. Not the case for Yidi Wang. She's not playing the singles. Brilliant play. The Chinese forcing her opponent around the table, using every centimeter in the width of the table. Fourth game, very, very close. I've lost count of the number of times Metaki has lost points after clipping the top of the net. It's not all bad luck, that's down to technique, handling the pressure. Both women got their game faces on. She's inching ahead now. 3-point lead for Wang Yidi. Wonderful return. Wasn't phased at all, and she saw her opponent setting up for the loop shot. Just stood her ground, anticipated it perfectly, and extends her lead. For that reason, a timeout has been called by the Japanese coach. No surprises there. Looking just to stop the momentum of Wang Yidi. Timeout lasts a minute. You can tell the Japanese called it, and not the Chinese. They want to keep the momentum. Once again, expressions of support. As I said, fine-tuning. Looks to be coming more from their teammates than the actual coach. Well, whatever is they're saying, they all seem to agree. Wang Yidi to serve. Needs 3 more points for victory. Mitaki closes the gap to 3 points. At the timeout, could have paid off. So the play. I do get the impression that Mitaki, the first to play close to the table. Wang Yidi forcing the play open onto her forehand side, and each time Mitaki takes the bait. 9-5. And that is game and match point. And at the very least, Mitaki has to force the Chinese opponent to serve for the match by winning this serve now. And she does. 10-6. Well, there's small consolation. If she does go on to lose the game, she didn't lose it on her own serve. That can be galling. Wang Yidi will take her time. This serve for victory. And she's got it. Once again, brilliant rally. And Wang Yidi draws first blood in this women's team final. She earns China their first point. It's a pity it came on a mistake. It'd been great to see a winner secure her victory, but she'll take it nonetheless. And we'll get confirmation now. Wang Yidi winning the first match here, 3-1. Took the fourth and final set, 11 points to 6. I certainly hope you enjoyed that, and there's more to come. Panic not, don't go anywhere. It's the best of 5. And we'll have at least 2 more matches between these two powerhouses of table tennis, China and Japan. And I must admit, I've been very impressed by the quality of the table tennis so far. It was mouth-watering at times. So there you have it. Wang Yidi comprehensively winning that opening match. 3-1. Can China make it 2 out of 2? Now this is the warm-up. And this is Ando. Now, if you're a keen fan of women's table tennis, you may well remember her from 2 years ago in Chinese Taipei. And she was part of the Japanese team, which won the silver medal, eventually losing to South Korea. She's up against Rui Zhang. Rui Zhang was very impressive, beating the French student Chasselin yesterday. Another whitewash. She won 11-3, 11-9, and 11-8. That scoreline in itself is interesting because it was closer than her teammate Wang Yidi. So it shows she had to fight for it. And here she is. She's also playing the singles. Well, I stand corrected. She's not playing the singles. And that should be interesting because it will mean she'll be more than motivated to try and get a medal in the team event. And we know what colour she'll want. Minami Ando was in action yesterday. against the Russian Maria Melanina. As she lost the first set, only to bounce back and take the next 3. It's China serving first. Rui Zhang takes the first point. Like a whirling dervish there. Oh, wow, what a return. Goodness me, the reflexes there. Well, she half apologizes. I don't think she needs to apologize. Well, both women are holding their opening 2 serves. Back to Zhang Rui. Female referee just pointing out that the ball must be displayed clearly in the palm of one's hand. It's more like it. Oh, yes. Well, she was ready for that, wasn't she? She pounced like a cat, did Ando. That can happen with a second serve. Not that time, though. It's an even game. 3 points each. She has a very distinctive serve, this is Japanese Ando. She has one of the highest tosses I've seen in this competition. But to no avail there. Nothing between these two. There are 2 points now. Serve returns to Zhang Rui. Slightly off balance there. Not quite getting a footing right. And you'll see lots of nervous gestures around the table. Again, 2 good serves by Ando. High ball toss and all paying off. Zhang Rui. Overhit that. It's so tempting to go for the smash or the drive, but there really has to be a lot of, well, enough air on the ball. The preparation must be perfect. How about this? A 4-point lead. Lost both points on her serve to this woman, Zhang Rui. And if Ando holds both her serves, she'll take the first game. Angry with herself. Now that point was all about the net. The serve was halted in mid-flight. Sensational. Reflexes are cat-like. Not afraid to eyeball just before service is Ando. More so than Zhang Rui. Game point though to the Japanese. And she's got it. 11-6. So that will settle any nerves. Not that she seemed to show any, it has to be said. And after losing the first match, that'll do the Japanese team the power of good. A morale booster. Early days yet, though. But for the final at large, it would be good if Japan weren't to be intimidated by the Chinese team. If Ando were to go on and win, I think that would set the rest of the match up perfectly. Zhang won her match in a whitewash yesterday, 11-3, 9-8. So, this is a different experience for her. China have romped to the final. Superb rally to start the game. Ando lost that point, but looks more comfortable than her teammate, Mataki, on the forehand. Too quick, too aggressive as well there. Zhang's serve not as distinctive as her opponent's. Much more about disguise. Played. Flurry of activity on both ends of the table. That was a very good serve. Set up the point. The trick is to concentrate on the ball. Never mind about the high pitch. Even game. As indeed it has been from the get-go. Good deep return there by Ando, right on the white line. Ando targeting Zhang Rui's forehand. Yet the rest of the table was wide open. Now those are fine margins on a serve. She didn't make the same mistake twice with the serve, but she did lose it. 2-point lead for Zhang Rui. Oh, superb. Really is worth a second look. Thrusting jab. 4-point lead to Zhang Rui. Determined to bounce back straight away after losing the opening game. The backhand. Right there did it. Sudden injection of speed. The flick of the wrist. Four-point lead. Cut to 2 points. Effective use of one serve. Oh, she so very nearly touched it. Points away from drawing level in the match. Went for broke. Didn't need to there. Her return was very, very good. Very sharp angle. Game point. And there it is. 11-6. The same scoreline as the first game, this time in favor of the China woman Zhang Rui. That was an unusual point. The rally hit slow motion. The upshot is that we're neck and neck between Zhang Rui and Ando. Symmetrical scoreline. What will happen in game 3? And here we go with the third game. On is even, one game apiece between Zhang Rui and Minami Ando. Unusual, very unusual mistake there. Not to hit the other side of the table on the return. It's the first time it's happened to her. For that serve, it's a handful. I said earlier, just concentrate on the ball, but perhaps not at that point. Sometimes you see that at this level. Lapse in concentration. That's encouraging for Ando. And she shouldn't be discouraged. She's already taken a game off the Chinese. She's done it once. No reason she can't do it again. Oh, that was unfortunate. She set the point up very, very well. As you'll see, pushed her opponent out wide. Rest of the table opened up, but she missed. It's becoming a trend. That's a great defensive shot. Great improvisation. No wonder there's a spring and a step. Should have enjoyed that. Nothing between these two. 2-point lead for Zhang Rui. Puffs out her cheeks. Needs to make these two serves count. Not the case with the first 3-point lead for China. Stunning return. Well, Ando did get a touch to the ball, but I'm not sure she knew too much about it. The ball hit her racket more than the other way around. 4-point lead. Inching ahead. Slowly but surely, just 2 points away from taking this game. Game point. 5 of them. Ando saves one of those game points. She's still got another 4. Still got another 3. She needs to use them sooner or later. And there it is. Game 3 goes to Zhang Rui. And it was a emphatic way to do it as well. Superb winning stroke. Saw there was a lot of air on the ball. Boy, oh boy, did she capitalize. Once again, it's the same scoreline, 11-6. So now Zhang Rui just 1 game away from earning China the 2nd point in this women's team final. The crowd seem to be enjoying themselves, and Zhang Rui certainly is, well, at least more so than the opening game, which she lost. She showed her mettle, coming from behind to lead 2-1. Ando, can she get back into this match? She's made that mistake on serve before, not the best start to this game. Can she do better here? Yes is the answer. Well, that'll do her confidence the world of good. Well, I was about to say, great disguise on the serve, which it was, but it didn't help her in the rally. See that again. Just the back, clip the edge. But when they do get involved in rallies, it's inevitably this woman who comes out on top. Well, she had every right to go for it. There seemed to be enough air on the shot. But again, dare I say it, schoolgirl mistake. Didn't adjust the position of her racket. If you're going to whip the spin on that, you need to drop your racket, lower your racket. Oh yes, We've seen that before as well. More firepower from Zhang Rui. Not for the first time. Ando anticipates, she gets to the ball, but she can't do anything with it. Timeout called. This time by China. Barely lasts a minute, so not much time to do much of anything else. Here's our chair umpire, Ibrahim Al-Bawalif. And his counterpart, Imam Mohammed Fahmy. As I said, not as distinctive as her opponent's serve, but more disguised, harder to read. So game 4, Zhang Rui going for the victory. Great return. Thought she'd lost control of the point there. But read the attack superbly well. One point in it. She has not had much joy with that forehand smash. Anguished expression. She's a fighter though, is Ando. A sudden burst of speed, earning her the point there. Very expressive face as the Japanese player. Great for the camera. Those grimaces, not so good for her goal of winning the match. One of her best serves, completely misread by Zhang Rui. More of a mistimed shot than a mishit. Yes, and that is the first time in a long time that one of her forehands had come off. She opened up her body nicely. And again. Well, if she's going down fighting, is Ando. Speed of reaction was what wanted the point there. She lost the point, but she did read exactly where the ball was going. Maybe the nod of her head suggests that. No, it's international language. Zhang Rui just 2 points away from match victory. And that is match point. It's been the closest of the game so far in terms of the score. She saves one of the match points. Zhang Rui will get a second chance though. It's her serve. Oh, she's done it. Well played, Ando. Again, scintillating rally. I warned her. I warned you not to write her off, rather. It's a juice game. 10-10. One serve each now. And now it's game point to Ando. This game is hanging in the balance. This for Ando to draw level in this match at 2 games apiece. Nothing between them. And she's done it. Well, I think that's just what this final needed. 10-12, closest game so far. Yeah, body position, not quite right there. She dig deep. She lowered her racket, but to no avail. And this match is now going to a 5th and final game. A decider. Superb table tennis. Those Chinese fans looking pretty relaxed despite their woman just conceding that game. So here we go, 5th and final game in the second match of this women's team final. Zhang Rui up against Japan's Minami Ando, and it'll be the Chinese woman to serve. Surprised by the bounce. It dropped. She wasn't expecting it. Right on the white line. Oh, that net wreaking havoc with Ando's game. Had to backtrack to adjust her body position. And that often happens as well. You carry out ferocious rally on the forehand, and when you switch hands, you lose focus. There's another example. Nothing between these two young women. 2 points each, 2 games each. Great play. More offensive of the two. Look how she attacked the ball. Actually ran into the shot. She's a cool customer, is Ando. Unlucky. Raised her bat for the block, and that wasn't far off, you know. First time in the match, Zhang Rui actually exclaims, very vocal, well, at least after that point. Oh, that's unlucky, and really is unlucky. Usual for the ball just to drop like a dead stone. Had she been a few inches taller, she might have been able to get to it. Not to say she would have been able to control the point with the shot, but there you go. That's life. That's table tennis at the highest level. Oh, yes. Look at that. You can't see it, but her racket is beneath the table, and that's generating that extra spin. Control the ball and win the point. Neck and neck, just as they've been throughout this match. No disrespect to the first match, but this has been by far the better of the two. She not just looked disappointed, but frustrated there, did Zhang Rui. She needs to get that out of the system. Timeout. It's been called pretty early in the game, but then that's understandable because it is the final game. Well, they've gone toe-to-toe, and then neck and neck. And this, of course, will have a major contribution to the rest of the final. If Zhang Rui wins it for China, well, they'll have a bit between their teeth. But if Ando can hold on and show those fighting qualities, which we've seen close up, well, then it really is game and match on. It'll inspire these teammates. The positive energy they'll feel, we'll be seeing too. 5-5, Ando serving. Well, it was a pretty good shot by Zhang Rui, but an even better one here. Look at that, she wasn't really in position either, was Ando. Takes her time. And interestingly, she changed position there on the serve. She moved into the middle, right by the tee line. She felt sufficiently confident to go for the winner from the return of Zhang Rui. That was the ploy. Didn't pay off. Now, 2 points on the bounce. If you'll excuse the pun, for Zhang Rui. Let's put her nose in front. Great technique, lovely windmill action there on that shot. And they called it at the same time as the referee. Now a 2-point lead opens up. It's the second time that forehand has reaped dividends for Zhang Rui. Three-point lead. She's just 2 points away from match victory, is the Chinese woman. Has Ando got anything left in the tank? Absolutely needs this serve to count. And she does. Superb play. Goodness me, at what speed was the ball traveling there? Yeah. Good body serve. That's what she apologizes for. Tremendous etiquette from Minami Ando there. 2 points for victory, though. 1 point. Match point for Zhang Rui in this fifth and final game. Match 2. Flung herself into the shot. Took Ando off the feet. Ando saves one of those match points. Zhang Rui still has another up her sleeve. Saves another match point. Now, are we seeing another momentum swing? Just when you think you've seen everything in this match. Still match point, but it's a final one. Well, up to 11 at any rate. It did touch the side, but it won't count. Dejection etched upon her face. We have reduced game. One serve only from this point on. Oh wow, we've seen it, and she's done it before. Ando turning the situation around just like she did in the previous game. Match point now for Minami Ando. Can lightning strike twice? Here we go. And it's China who saved the day. 11-11. She didn't do too much wrong there. She really didn't. Apart from the final shot, of course. Oh, I say, that was sensational. The margins of error between victory, or rather winning, and losing the point. The ball bounced on top of the net. It could have gone either way. As it is, match point, the second for Minami Ando. Oh, I say again, this is table tennis out of the top drawer. No quarter given, none being asked. A lot of air for the Chinese woman to play with. And man alive, did she. 12-12. On her serve, she loses the point, giving this woman a match point, a third match point. Will it be third time lucky for Ando? It is, she's got it. Japan are back in the match. Now that's great news for Japan, bad news for China, and dare I say it, terrific news for the neutrals watching. Keeps the suspense. This match, this final, the gold medal women's team match, is perfectly poised. Now the gutsy performance there by Minami Ando. In the final two games, she held off match points to come back and win. Best match of the final, dare I say it, best match of the tournament so far. And can our third match live up to this? Stay with us to find out. And that next match will be Siam against Fan. Siki Fan. She was in great form yesterday, blitzing the French woman, Ocean Guinel. Well, a slight twitch of the Chinese flag. And now these two young women have to follow that. It's a tall order. Here they are. They just need to concentrate on their game. In your picture, Fan Siki. very impressive yesterday. Whitewash win over the French woman of Siam. She won 11-5, 11-7 and 11-9. The Frenchman did raise her game, but not enough. And this is Siam. Now, interestingly, she didn't play yesterday in Japan's semi-final victory over Russia. The woman we just saw, Minami Ando, she did. And the other two teammates were Maitake Hatsune, who we saw in the first match of this final, and Asuka Saso. So Japan rotating their team. There are different schools of thought, not just in table tennis, but all sports, as we see Ibrahim Al-Bawalif, chair umpire. One school of thought, obviously, is if your team isn't broken, then don't change it. Japan singing from a different sheet. Saki Sayama, she's involved in the women's singles. Interestingly, Minami Ando isn't. Interestingly, I say, because we saw her just in superb form. Really is a big match performer. But maybe she's doubly motivated. First point to China. Off Sayama's serve. Oh, yes. Great preparation. Textbook so. Looks a feisty performer. Looking to cut short the points is the Chinese woman, Siki Fan. Needed a bit more patience there. That service, she goes again. Well played. Great reflexes there. She's been very supportive on the sidelines. Sayama to her two teammates who've played before. They missed, but not by much. It's a very good defensive game to Sayama. Great serve. The spin on that serve. Do you believe it? Three-point lead for the Japanese. Oh yes, once again. Little prod of the shot, perfectly placed. Great technique, just out of range for this woman. China come into this match as hot favourites, but who knows? Fansiki stops the rot. 4-point deficit reduced to just 3. again, the defense is there. Tremendous power on that, but she's not daunted at all, is Siam. 4 points reduced to 2. Back to Siam's serve, though. And what a serve it is. Reaping dividends. Three points in it. 3 points away from the first game is Siam. That, unfortunately, part and parcel of table tennis. And invariably, if the ball clips the top of that net, it will go wide, will go out of the table. It's so hard to stay cool when your opponent shapes up for a big hit like that. Takes nerves of steel and a lot of composure just to read the shot, position your racket. Now it's an even game. Good comeback here by Fansiki. Had it easy yesterday against the Frenchwoman, Guinel. That's well played. Backhand into the body, leaving absolutely no wriggle room for Fansiki. That was a shot. How many points has she won? It's not tennis. You very rarely see any player win a point straight off the serve. No aces, if you like, but Siam is winning a lot of points on the third or fifth shot. She's got game point here. Fansiki serve, though. Superb rally. Double figures, I would say. Again, we've seen that sequence before. Not for the first time. Fansiki holds her serve twice, draws level with Siam, and it's a juice game. 10-10. Now just one serve each before they hand the serve over. There you have it. Game point to Fansiki. She'll be serving. Big windmill shot of hers, paying off, and how. And she's got it, 12-10. Not the best shot decision, I don't think, there by Siam. She went for the winner off the return. So the momentum that Japan had after Minami Ando's victory, well, they say it's been shattered, but it has been dissipated. First blood to China's Fansiki, 12-10. The positive for Japan's Siam is that it was a close game. She led for most of it. Siki Fan showing a bottle and coming back at the death to nick it. Game 2. 1 point apiece. China to serve. The extra aggressivity of Fansiki paying off. Yes. Just what her team coach ordered. Short rally, 3 strokes, more of the same. Let's serve, more of the same, will be what a team coach wants. Very, very quick action, Siam. And with it, she's got a 2-point lead. Siam's defense is nearly very good. She anticipates well. It's just the end product. And that's down to this woman's speed of racket. Great rally. The longer rallies tend to favor Fansiki. Slightly behind the play there. The Japanese. 3 points apiece. Points on the bounce for the Chinese. Can she make this service count, Siam? Yes, she can. At the end of a superb rally, yet another one. And that's important. And she lost both serves. That might have planted a seed of doubt in her mind. As it is, even Stevens. Lovely play. Well, she deserved that simply for the line she took. She played that passing shot right down the line. Fortune favors the brave. Certainly did that. Well, I think that previous shot really gave her a lot of positive energy. Good transition from backhand to forehand. Just when you think that one of these women seem to have the upper hand, their opponent raises their game. 6-6. Very tight match. Just what you'd expect, just what you'd hope for in a final. Oh dear, that's unfortunate. It was a mistake, obviously. I don't really know what caused it. Slight lapse in concentration. Oh, yes. And that is very, very rare. A winning point from the receiver in their first stroke. Look at the precision of the racket head. Very technical player is Siam. 7-7 game. Anything you can do, I can do better. Seems to be the message from this match. Terrific mistake there by Siam. Critically, it gives Fansiki a 2-point lead. Just 2 points away from victory. She could do it on both the serves. Good deep stroke there by the Chinese woman. Game point. And there it is, 11-7. Not as tight as the first game. And that's her weapon, Fansiki. The forehand drive. And you have to say, her technique in executing it is spot on. 2-0 she leads. She only needs one more to give China a point that'll earn them the gold medal. Now I'm getting ahead of myself, rather. Give them a 2-1 lead. But there does look to be something ominous in the way that China are playing. Minami Ando, the Japanese player in the previous match, really had to dig deep to win over 5 sets. And here, well, it seems as if normal service has been restored in this match. Fansiki, having edged the first game, found the second game easier. And what now? Will this be the third and final game in this match? Pressure on the slender shoulders of Saki Siama. Good start though by Siama. Hold serve twice. Great point. That's her weapon. That whiplash backhand. Love. Can she build on that? Yes, she can. Again, deep penetrating strokes. Five love. Who'd have thought it? Really is a turn up for the books. I don't know what your teammates said to Saki Siama during the break. Certainly seems to have paid off so far. Unusual. First time we've seen that, not just in their match, but the whole match. She capitalizes after being gifted the point on this woman's poor serve. She's extended the lead to 6 points. Not going down without a fight is Siama. Didn't enjoy that. Facial expression tells its own story. Now the Chinese woman distracted by something in the background. The referee is pointing out. Bit of unnecessary movement from the photographer, I think it was. Out of the head. She knows this game's slipping away from her. There wasn't much in that though. Just dropping over the edge of the table. She's romping through this game, Siam. I must admit, I didn't expect it. But it's welcome for the match at large. So hard to return as powerful a drive as that. And 4. Does Fansiki have something to say in this game yet? Just needs 2 more points to Siam. This is the second serve. Maybe she does, Fansiki. Got so many points off that forehand coming up right here. Look at the preparation. Her racket is way down by her knee when it comes up, and she's yet to miss, I don't think. Apart from then, that's given this woman game points. Mixing it up nicely. Well, she's still got 3 game points. Make that 2 game points. Now she's got the technical ability. She's got the mettle. Here's a timeout. Timeout, keeping in the spirit of table tennis. They're very quick. They seem to have a good team spirit, Japan. As I said before, the coaching seems to come from teammates, in stark contrast to Japan, where, following tradition, it comes from the coach. Everyone glued to their mobile phones. No doubt watching other action on FISU TV, that's the TV channel, the official TV channel here at the Universiade. She's got a smile on her face. There's China's Fansiki. She's 2 games up against this woman, Siam Saki. But the Japanese has game point. (10-8). Just needs to hold it together. She lost both serves. Serve switches to Fansiki. (10-9). Chinese still has another serve. And that to force a juice game. But she can't manage it. And Japan heave a sigh of relief. They're still very much in this match. as it were. Now, who will react better after that third game? Will it inspire Siam to go on to bigger and better things? Or will Fansiki bounce back? First point to the Chinese woman. Apologizing profusely. Good to see such respect for one's opponent. Always good to score an early point off your opponent's serve. The table's turned there. Siam using Fansiki's favourite shot. She loves the shot, really does. When it's as good as that, you can see why. Well played. Siam, she knows that the forehand is the real weapon of Fansiki. So she's directing play to the Chinese woman's backhand. Paid off there. Having said that, that came from Fansiki's forehand. But she slightly overcooked it, only just though. Fourth game, very tight. Second serve. Unusual mistake, just forcing the issue. Wasn't a deep return by Siam. It's a lovely play by Fansiki. But once again, not too far away. Those margins of error. Darting about the table there. Fansiki looking the sharper of the two. She can afford a wry smile. Doesn't happen too often that she misses like that. Missing ball. Problem. Plenty of those. Tremendous reflexes by both women. Almost a tennis-like backhand there from Fansiki. For the first time in this game, she opens up a 3-point lead. Now, will that be telling? Let's serve. Should go again. Siam stops the rot. And just as well, because with that momentum, Fansiki was closing in on victory. Oh, yes. Wonderful play. And an unusual point. One of the most tactical so far Almost played at slow motion. That was all about placement. Up until that point. Injection of speed from Fansiki. And boy, oh boy, did this woman respond and read it well. Reduced it to 1 point. Unlucky. Great rally there. Understand why the game is sometimes called ping pong at a social level. Whiff waff, as it originally was called. Well, the point was on. You understand why Siam went for it. It's 2 shots like that she's missed. Sharp intake of breath. Needs this one to count to stay in it. And that is match point. Game and match points to this woman, Fansiki. She's got 3 of them to boot. She's serving. And she's got it. 11-6. Well, she needed 4 games, but in the end, it was a clear victory. China get their noses in front once again. Agony in the ecstasy at the end of the match. Great forehand. Took your time over it. Right into the corner. Fansiki wins in 4 games. After the 3rd singles, and that means China now lead by 2 points to 1. Best of 5. They need just 1 more point. She can take a breather. She certainly deserved it. Very hot and sticky here at the Palatrincone, just outside of Naples. And now we'll see 2 players we've seen already. Yidi Wang at the first point for China. She'll come up against Minami Ando. He won Japan's only point so far. This potentially is the last match of this women's team final. That's if this woman wins. Minami Ando will be going all out to prevent that. Well, if both teams are relatively similar in style, one very clear difference is in the women's hairstyles. Japan, they're all sporting ponytails. China, they're going for the short basin haircut. We're in the warm-up. You know the drill by now. Forehand, backhand. Doesn't last very long. And then we get down to it. Looking forward to this match. Minami Ando. She managed to win a point for Japan earlier. Can she do it again? An inscrutable expression on her face. Dare I say it, she'd almost make a good poker player. Yidi Wang showing a little bit more. She needed 4 games to beat Maitake Hatsune. What now? That's a little feature. Players tend to do that. Usually they blow hot air. Hot to the ball, not their racket. Ando to serve. First point to the Chinese opponent. That's a very good start. She'll be mightily pleased. Great anticipation there by Wang. Ando will be delighted with that. Well, delighted is not the word, should be relieved. To have fallen 4-love behind. It's been demoralizing. And as it is, that's how quickly a game of table tennis can change. From 3-0 to 3-2. Played. Well, we knew she had mettle, this young woman. By Jove, she's shown it there. 3-love to 3-3. Wang gets her nose in front again. It was a valiant attempt by Minami Ando with her back to play. I've said it before, when an opponent cranks up for a shot like that, it can be off-putting. That's great play by Ando. Two-point lead ahead of her two serves. Make that a three-point lead. Now Ando cannot afford to let Wang get so far ahead in any of these games. Oh, superb reflexes. Now that's a dangerous, risky strategy. Dollying a return over the net, inviting the Chinese woman to attack it, and banking on your defensive skills. Oh, that was superb. Perhaps the best defensive shot of the final so far. Thought it. That lead has been reined in. And Minami Ando draws level at 7-7. She is like a barnacle. You will not get rid of her easily. Cannot be fazed, as I said earlier, by this woman preparing for the howitzer pile driver. Luckily she didn't touch it. As we get to the business end of this opening game, players become a lot more vocal. Wang, clenched fist, just a primal scream. That's the pattern of the game. Each time Wang goes a point clear, Ando claws it back. Stunning play. Is it actually a tactic by Ando? Inviting the attack? Or is it just purely instinct or high-speed reflexes? Look at that. The ball was behind her. She's done it again. What a way to take the opening game. Sensational play by Ando. And the crowd are responding as well. I was going to say she's a crowd pleaser. She's not playing to the crowd, but they certainly enjoy her style of play. So there's confirmation. 11-9 as Ando scores first game victory in their match. And I must admit, this game is very, very hard to call. For me to stick my neck out. And you viewers enjoying it on VCTV. Easiest bet would be to say China. China actually absolutely dominate this sport, as I said before. 36 gold medals in memory serves. 33, I stand corrected. Compare that to just 6 for Japan. They were second in the overall standings. Chinese Taipei third. We'll see them in the men's final later on. Second game underway. Yidi Wang wins the point on her first serve. Perfect stop for her after conceding the opening game. Oh my. Best point of the match so far. What's not to like in this final? There's the change. Good tactic. Classic table tennis tactic. Stunning play by Yidi Wang. Got a bit between her teeth here. Look at that. Previous return, arming passing shot was what won with the point. Breathtaking. All I can say. The slow motion operator, very, very busy in this final. Wonderful. Oh, that really deserved the clenched fist. Great play. She really enjoyed that, didn't she? Serve, wreaking havoc. It's a festival of backhand. It really is. It was the forehand that did the damage. Less is more. Yidi Wang's philosophy on the forehand. Oh, you You can see why she went for it. Trailing by 3 points. Enough air and bounce on the shot to go for it. 4 points the deficit. Superb serve. Spinning into the body. Will she go for the same serve again? Well, it wasn't quite the same. It pitched up shorter, but the end result is the same. It's both points on a serve. Oh, well played. What a defense. Well, she almost looked up to the gods there, did Yidi Wang. Tremendous backspin on the backhand. The table was open though. One would have expected Yidi Wang to win the point. The pen hold. She did well. As we were talking about the fine margins between winning and losing a point. If there's a slight mishap from your opponent, you have to punish it at this level. That is a perfect example. Great control. Plays very well when she's on the back foot, does Ando. That's good play. That's very good play. She varied the serve there, right into the corner. Had Yidi Wang slightly off balance. Instead of attacking the open part of the table, she went back into the corner. Slightly wrong footing, the Chinese woman. Not the second time. 9-8. Nothing in this game. That's unusual as well. During the rally, pulled off a little bunny hop or a skip. She's let a 2-point lead go. Or, from another point of view, Yidi Wang showed she can control her nerves by holding a serve, which returns to Ando. It's a very unusual serve in that she actually steps back and the ball comes down from its high trajectory. Game point. Not getting much joy on the forehand, but she feels compelled to go for it.